everything in your life won't be beautiful. But one of the great things that this journey has taught me is that you always have the power to rebuild your life and to put your life back together and to create a different reality for yourself. And I feel like as long as you have that power and you live with that level of understanding, there's nothing that comes into your life that you don't have the ability to overcome. One of the great themes of this podcast, for those of you that have been listening to me for more than a decade now, which is so hard for me to believe that I've been doing this for so long and that people actually are still listening. But one of the things that you've heard me say many times is that one of the surest ways to create a defeated life is to live without vision. Let me say it again. One of the surest ways to live a defeated life is to live without vision. Where there is no vision, where there is no prophetic utterance, the people cast off restraints and run wild. A lot of what we're seeing in the world today is because people don't live with a sense of vision. And when you don't have a vision, you become a victim of other people's vision. You become a victim of situations and circumstances in your life. And you live below the reality that you were intended to live. And so uh, you have to live your life with a clear sense of purpose and clarify that vision. And then you got to take the necessary steps to move toward that thing becoming reality in your life. As someone that has advised, train and develop leaders all over the world, one thing I know for certain is that avoidance is the enemy to living an authentic life. Write that down. Avoidance is the enemy to living an authentic life. And so many people keep putting off the changes that they need to make. And I listen and I say, you said that 5 years ago. You said that 10 years ago. Some people said that 20 years ago. But at some point, we have to stop avoiding. We have to become the architects of our future, and we have to make a decision that we're going to live an authentic life. I feel like greatest way for us to benefit the world is not by the businesses we create, not by the awards that we win, not by the press coverage that we get, not by the circle of friends or people that we have in our lives. I feel like the greatest way, one of the greatest ways that we benefit the world is by living an authentic life. And when I reflect on my own journey, this year has been absolutely amazing. We're in the fourth quarter. This year has been amazing. But one of the things that I'm so proud of this year is that I've had more opportunities to talk about my journey before more audiences and more people. And I just did an incredible interview with Bold Journey Magazine that people are still talking about because I just really opened up about my journey, understanding my true identity, how I uncovered it, how I broke out of certain patterns and behaviors in my life, and how I became who I am today. And, one of the things that I can be truly proud of with the body of work that I've created over these years is that I have chosen to live authentic to who I am. In a world that will tell you you need to do this, you need to do that. If you just did this, then this would be better. If you would be more like so and so, you could have more of this and that. I have just become extremely comfortable with being authentically who I am. And in being authentic to who I am, I have attracted audiences and relationships and people in my life that resonate with that. And that's what I tell people. You don't have to change who you are. You may have to be flexible in your approach and your methodology, but we never have to be flexible in our morals and values. And so a lot of people are doing a lot of things that supposedly bring them a lot of success. And I look and they're still not where they want to be. And they've dumbed down who they are. They have let go of their principles and values, and they are so unhappy and miserable. But to give the facade that everything is great in their lives, they keep going through the motions. And I tell people I rest very well at night because I have not had to compromise my values or principles to be who I am. And, a lot of people said in the early days to me, Jamel, this is very risky. You're a man of faith. You're also a businessman. I don't know if you can coexist in that way. Like you're going to have to dumb this down. And that was the farthest thing from the truth. I feel that more people have respected and valued me and what I do because I have been able to infuse my faith and my values and my principles into everything that I do and how I present my message and my work. And that's what I really want to champion for everybody. If there's one thing that I hope defines my legacy in the future, is that Jamel lived an authentic life. And because he was audacious enough to live authentically, it gave me the courage to do the same. I feel like that's one of the greatest things that people can ever say about you. It is the work that we avoid that robs us of the transformation we so desperately want to see. A lot of people listen to me and they're like, how did you get here? How do you get to writing 12 books? How do you become a thought leader? How do you become somebody that's respected around the world that advises all of these leaders and influential people? And I tell people it's a journey. It was a journey, but it was a matter of me making the decision to do the work. Now, I'm not telling you the work was easy. I'm not telling you that every day I was ecstatic to do the work, that I liked everything about it, that mentors and people in my life that hold me accountable, that I just loved everything that they said to me. But I realized that to become who I was born to be, that there were certain things that I was going to have to deconstruct in my life so that I could become a better version of myself. I may sound deep and profound today. However, I still remember a time in my life when I was running. And I can hear some of you saying, running? What are you talking about, Isabel? I was running from myself, running from maturity, running from the metamorphosis to become who I was born to be. And I'm going here because a lot of you listening to me today, you're running. You're running from yourself, you're running from maturity, you're running from the metamorphosis that needs to happen in your life. And at some point, you got to get tired of running. At some point, you have to get tired of running. You got to come to the realization that if you want more for your life, you got to become more. And I talk to so many people and they say, Jamel, there must be more. And I say, there is more. But more is not just going to be within your grasp, more is within your growth. Write that down. We think more is something that we're just reaching or grasping for, but more is something that you have to grow into. I always tell people that if you want more, you got to become more. That means that you got to increase your value and you got to build your capacity so that you can show up as the greatest expression of who God created you to be. By the way, because I'm so deep into this, our topic in this new series is called Rebuild the Path to Reconstructing Your Life. Rebuild the path to restructuring your life. In fact, I thought that avoidance would blind me to the things that were broken about my life. We could do a whole show on that one statement and be here for a couple weeks. I thought that avoidance would blind me to the things that were broken about my life because that's what I saw other people doing. They ignored it and they appeared to be this and appeared to be that. And in the recesses of my mind and in those quiet moments alone with myself and with God, I realized that this is just not going to go away. And because I'm such a thinker, and because I'm one of those people that's going to ponder and pontificate something, I said, this is not going to be acceptable. Like, we're going to have to get to the root of this in my life so that this doesn't become a roadblock or impasse to me walking in the fullness of what I was born to do. What I discovered is that avoidance only amplified the parts of my life that I wanted to hide. It's one of the reasons that I wrote the book Significance because I wanted to help people, and you can get that book pretty much anywhere. Go on Amazon, Kindle Nook, or wherever. You should be able to find it. But I wrote that book because so many people are suffering from an identity crisis, and they're suffering in silence and they don't know how to get out of it. And so I wrote that. I wrote my